Everything you know about how to run your business is stuck in your head. That's the problem. An SOP is the fix. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what one is, what goes in it, and how to write your first one in 30 minutes. Here's what I hear from small business owners constantly. You take on a casual to help out. Maybe it's your first time having someone else do a task you normally handle yourself. They ask you a completely reasonable question, and suddenly you realize you have no idea how to answer it because you've never had to. It lives in your head. So you end up doing it yourself because it's faster than explaining. You go on leave, or at least you try to. And the whole time you're away, your phone doesn't stop because no one else knows how anything works. The quote goes out, a client gets a different answer than they normally would. You come back more exhausted than when you left. You do a task. You do it well. 6 months go by and you need to do it again, but you can't remember the steps you took the first time you did it. So you work it out again, from scratch, like you've never done it before. This is what I mean when I say your business lives in your head, not in a folder, not in a shared document, in your head. And here's the thing, it's not a discipline problem, it's not a memory problem. It's not that you're disorganized or bad at running a business. It's a systems problem. And you can fix a systems problem. So what actually fixes this? It's called an SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. And I know it sounds like something you'd find in a hospital or a factory, corporate, a lot of work, but it's not. Strip the name back, and here's what it actually is. An SOP is just the steps you take to do something in your business written down. The steps written down so that you or someone else can do the thing the same way every time without reinventing it or asking you about it. Think about a recipe. You don't need to be a chef to follow one. Someone wrote down the steps in order, and now anyone who can read can make that dish. Your SOP is the recipe for your business tasks. Onboarding a new client? That's a recipe. Quoting a job? That's a recipe. Posting on socials, following up an invoice, handling a complaint? All recipes. Once it's written down, it belongs to the business, not just to you. Now, I can almost hear you thinking, that's great, Nardia, but I'm just me. I don't have staff, so who am I writing this for? You're writing it for you, future you. The you who does this task again in 4 months and can't remember how you did it last time. SOPs are not a management tool. Solo operators need them just as much, sometimes even more, because there's no one else to catch it when something gets missed. And when you do bring someone on, a casual, a VA, a contractor, you hand them the recipe. No 3-hour induction, no phone calls on your day off. It's already written down. Let me show you what this actually looks like in practice, because I think a lot of people imagine an SOP is some massive policy document, and it's just not. This is the client onboarding SOP from the BossKit SOP Starter Kit. At the top, document control, SOP ID, version, status, admin stuff. Below that, section 2 is the purpose. 2 sentences, what this SOP covers and what a good outcome looks like. Section 6 is where the actual steps live. 4 phases. Confirm and prepare, lock in the agreement, create the client folder, prep the welcome email, welcome and orient, send the email within 24 hours, send the intake form, grant access, Complete and confirm. Review the intake form. Schedule the kickoff call. Mark onboarding done. Each step is one action, written as a verb. Plain language. A good SOP is clear enough that someone who's never done the task before could follow it and get a result that looks like you did it. That's the whole standard. The SOP Starter Kit also includes an AI companion prompt for each template. Paste it into Claude or ChatGPT. It interviews you about your process. 10 questions, one at a time, and produces a draft of every section based on your answers. So even if you don't know how to start writing, you don't have to. You don't need special software. A Google Doc works. A Word doc works. Even a piece of paper in a folder works. If that's your reality right now, the format doesn't matter as much as the fact that it exists. A simple SOP for a small business has 5 parts. You don't need all 5 for every single task, but knowing them helps you know what to include. 1. The title. What's this SOP for? Be specific. Not client stuff. New client onboarding process. Specific enough that you could find it in a folder 6 months from now. 2. The purpose. 1 sentence. Why does this task exist? What does a good outcome look like? This SOP ensures every new client gets a consistent, professional first experience. Done. 3. Who does it? Is this a task for you, for a staff member, for a contractor? Put a name or a role. Owner or admin is fine. This matters when someone else is picking it up. 4. The steps. Numbered, in order, written simply. Not handle the booking. Send the booking confirmation email using the template saved in the Google Drive folder labeled bookings. Every step should be something a person can actually do. 5. Any resources or links. Templates, logins, forms, checklists. Anything the person doing the task will need, link directly to them if you can. 5 parts. That's the whole structure. You can build a solid SOP for most tasks in under 30 minutes. If you actually know the process you're documenting. One thing I do want to flag, because it does trip some people up, the goal isn't to write a perfect document. It's to write something clear enough that you'd actually use it. Do the cold test. Hand it to someone who's never done that task and ask them to follow it without asking you any questions. If they get stuck, that's a gap. Fix the gap, not the person. I know what happens when people learn about this stuff. They get motivated, they think of 15 things they should document, and they do none of them. Don't do that. Here's where to start. Pick the task you do most often. Not the most complicated task, not the most important one. The one you do all the time. The one you could do in your sleep. That's the one it'll be quickest to write down. For a lot of service-based businesses, that's client onboarding or quoting. For product-based businesses, it might be packing and dispatch or how you handle a return. Sit down. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Open a Google Doc. Write the title. Write the purpose. Write the steps in order. Don't overthink the format. Don't wait until it's perfect. Just get it out of your head and into a document. 1 SOP, 30 minutes. That's the whole task. I want to give you one piece of data that I think about a lot, and it comes from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Around 64% of Australian businesses are run by one person with no staff. No team, just them. The ABS data shows that solo businesses have a 3-year survival rate of around 43%. Businesses with even 1 or 2 staff survive at around 61% over the same period. And that's a meaningful gap. Now, there are a lot of reasons for that, but part of it is this. When you employ someone, you're forced to write things down. You have to hand things over. You can't keep it all in one person's head when other people's income depends on it working. Writing it down isn't the boring part. It's the part that keeps the whole thing standing. If this has clicked for you and you want to actually do it rather than just think about it, I've built a tool that gets you there faster. It's called the SOP Starter Kit. It's $47 and it's available on our website. Links down below. 7 ready-to-use SOP templates built for small service-based businesses. There's also an AI companion prompt for each one, so you're never staring at a blank page. Links in the description. It's bosskit.com.au. Check the description box below.